them or maybe even tried one for yourself. Zyn nicotine pouches. For a lot of people, they're becoming a routine, as grabbing a cup of coffee or popping a piece of gum.
And now a new FDA decision could change how people look at them. For the first time, Zyn can be marketed as less harmful than cigarettes for adults who completely make the switch. Supporters say that's a win for harm reduction, but critics worry it could give the impression these products are safe.
Yeah, safer than something else doesn't necessarily equate to being completely safe. The FDA does stress that these products still contain nicotine and are now not without risk. And at the same time, traditional smoking is kind of having a weird moment again. There's glamorized content on TV and online, and this idea that social smoking or even skinny cigarettes are somehow less risky when that's not really the case at all.
Yeah, Dr. Natalie Gentile is here to break it all down and explain why these trends matter right now. And I think this is really a good,
Sorry about that.
really a great topic here. Why do you think that cigarettes are becoming more visible on social media and hence being marketed to younger people?
Yeah, I think they're doing a really good job right now, these companies, at marketing to younger and younger populations. And that marketing push is happening. And part of that is also this safer options like vaping, that is more and more coming out, and kiddos and young people are more susceptible to that type of influence.
It's just weird that we're having this conversation again about, hey, smoking isn't good for you. Yeah. It feels
that's
like
the
we've been there, done that, right?
Right.
Especially in our generation. I think it's really hard for our generation to wrap our heads around seeing people smoking so much again. Because it was really beaten into our heads how dangerous it was, and nothing has changed from that perspective.
Well, even I think that we all remember, and they may even still be running, the commercials that we used to see of people down the line dealing with health issues, like with the voice box thing, not being able to speak and having different types of cancers. I mean, I think even that was the scary part of it. Like, this is what happens if you continue smoking.
Yes, and those downstream effects are no different. Right. We still have those increases in cancer risks. That's not changed.
You know, one thing I didn't realize, because I wasn't sure what Zyn was, and I looked it up, and I guess one of the appeals for young people too is it comes in different flavors, where it almost like it.
Well, it's kind of like
the
vaping
fun.
thing.
Yeah, and you can't smoke in buildings now, right? But you can vape anywhere. You can use these pouches anywhere. And so there's not restrictions around the use.
You know, I'm going to speak very openly about content that I saw not too long ago. And it was, I don't know if she was an influencer or if it was just an average person that popped up in my feed. And it said, okay, so you're telling me that deli meat is considered carcinogen. It's a carcinogen. So how many cigarettes does that equate to? And so she's trying to do this kind of math. Like, does that mean that one Italian hoagie equals 3 cigarettes? And I'm like, but why are we even having this conversation again? It's kind of strange to me.
Oh, it certainly is strange. And I think there's also a culture shift of, we've talked about heroin chic coming back, for example. And I think this kind of bodily influence, and we think of cigarettes as reducing appetite, and people are kind of smoking instead of eating. I see a tie there with diet culture that I think we shouldn't be ignoring.
Absolutely. And I'm thinking about this too, like people who just maybe sometimes do it on occasion, or just do it on the weekends, or just do it every other day. They're thinking like, okay, well, it's not every day, so this must be much safer.
Exactly. I have a lot of patients actually who they say that, I'm socially smoking. And that might be usually associated with some other behavior. Whenever I have a glass of wine with my friends, I smoke, right? There's a connection between a habit and then smoking. It's actually still addictive even at those use levels, and can be dangerous at those levels, just like long-term use or higher level use.
And so let's talk about some of the long-term risks. For people who forgot, what are they?
Cardiovascular risks, so heart disease risks, impacting your vessels, impacting risk of heart attack and stroke, even with social intermittent use, okay? Cancer risks, yes, lung cancer. Another one people do not think of, bladder cancer. I'm married to a urologist, so I hear this all the time. The bladder cancer patients he's seeing, common thread through most of them is smoking history.
Interesting.
And so and then of course, throat cancer, oral cancer that we can't forget about.
My goodness.
Yeah,
wow.
scary.
Like you almost forget about all of this stuff. And I mean, it was drilled into our head for so long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, and I looked up statistics too. I mean, we saw a steady decline. I mean, a huge drop from like early 2000 to 2020. There was a little bit of an uptick in 2020 in the pandemic, when they may equate that to the stress or people buying it out of the panic buying that we saw.
Sure.
But outside of that, like, we've still seen a pretty steady drop.
And I think what people do, this is a natural human thing, if you don't see something for a while, you kind of forget it was an issue. Or you
Right,
forget
yeah.
what the problems or the risks were. Right. And we see that with smoking now.
Absolutely. And so someone who kind of feels like, I don't even know if they would admit this, but if you're being influenced by social media and popular culture and you find yourself vaping or doing something like this and you never even smoked a day before in your life, like, what do you do?
Yeah, take a look at the habit. What are you linking it to? Is it a social thing? Is it when you have a drink? And start to see those links, okay? So because you can disconnect from that. But also don't go cold turkey. So connect it with something else you can do, like chewing gum, you know, or something else with that, what we call oral fixation with smoking. I think that people forget a lot. They need to replace that habit with something else because the body has been trained to make that connection. You can't just cold turkey it because there, again, even with little amount of use, there is still that withdrawal risk.
Okay.
And don't forget about that.
All right.
All right.
Really important conversation. I did not think that we would be having it again.
Me neither.
But here we are. Here we are.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, you can learn more about Direct Care Physicians of Pittsburgh and Rebel Wellness on our website, kdka.com/talkpittsburgh.
Still to come on the show, the stories you don't want to miss tonight on the KDKA Evening News. We'll be right back.